Good evening and welcome to the Wake Forest University Summer Immersion Program virtual information session. I'm Kyla Hollingsworth, Executive Director, and I'd like to welcome students, parents, and community partners. Thank you for joining us this evening. The Wake Forest Summer Immersion Program is one of three pre-college programs offered at Wake Forest University. We offer the Summer Immersion Program as well as an online immersion program, which is an asynchronous program offered for students 13 and above that is offered throughout the school year, as well as our College Launch for Leadership program. Tonight, we will focus on the Summer Immersion Program that empowers high school students to manifest their goals through meaningful real-world experiences, robust academics, and inclusive campus culture, networking and mentorship, as well as giving students the ability to discover their passions and clarify their future pathway. Next, I'd like to introduce the team. The Summer Immersion team is comprised of myself, Executive Director, as well as Betsy Schneider, Director of the Summer Immersion Program, from whom you'll hear from tonight, as well as Lizzie Randolph, who's Program Manager, Ashley Anderson, who's Program Manager of our College Launch for Leadership program, and Becca Danino, who is our Marketing and Social Media Coordinator. A few reminders: we will answer questions using the Q&A. So you're able to type questions in the Q&A icon, which is at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to ask questions throughout, and we will answer them. The questions, however, will not be answered in real time or live. Rather, we will type the responses to all of the questions for everyone to hear and see. So feel free to ask questions throughout. Next, I would like to draw your attention to the closed caption option. So you are able to enable closed caption at the bottom of your screen to turn on closed captions if you prefer. And then lastly, this information session is being recorded, so you're able to view the recording and listen to the recording after the session. We will email the recording out to all registered participants after the session. I would like to now turn it over to Betsy Schneider, Director of the Summer Immersion Program.
Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to have you all here this evening to talk a little bit more about the Summer Immersion Program and to learn about what this summer will be like. We're so excited to welcome so many of you to campus this summer, and feel free to ask lots of questions throughout this information session as we go along. First, I want to point out our three main objectives. First of all, experience and exposure. Students are able to choose from 21 specialized institutes and learn from industry professionals and Wake Forest faculty. Students are really able to get hands-on throughout the summer and learn from our really esteemed faculty members. Two, students are able to prepare for college. Students get to live on Wake Forest University's campus and learn about Wake Forest during a campus tour and official admissions information session. Students also will experience campus life while living in dorms, eating in the dining hall, and interacting with current Wake Forest undergraduate students who are their mentors. We refer to those individuals as our program ambassadors, and we're really excited to be able to hire many Summer Immersion Program alumni who have ended up coming to Wake Forest, who are now in a full circle moment, serving as our program ambassadors this summer. Three, build a network. Students are able to engage with peers from all over the world and build relationships with professionals and experts in various fields of study. Students are able to really interact not only with Wake Forest faculty members, but also professionals in many different areas of study. We'll dive more into that later. Wake Forest has a really robust alumni network, and so we're proud to be able to engage our alumni and offer students a glimpse of what they might want to do in their futures. We do provide all of the contact information for the professionals that students get to engage with over the summer. So hopefully some of them may be able to stay in touch and gain lifelong mentors. Those are the three big objectives of the summer immersion program. We're really trying to make this summer experience incredibly meaningful and not feel like school. So students will not have homework. There aren't the pressure of grades. There's not readings and essays. We really want them to gain experiential learning on a college campus this summer. Since I'm a visual learner, here's our video, enjoy. I'm a visual learner, so I really want everyone to pay attention to our video. It will give you a better sense of the programs that we'll offer and kind of allow you to see that students are out and about in the community. We are not just in the classroom. We are visiting businesses and organizations and out on campus throughout the summer. So thank you. Watch our video.
The Summer Immersion Program is a program designed for high school sophomores, juniors, and seniors, giving them the opportunity to take a deep dive into a particular career path.
Coming in here, I thought, oh, it might just be classroom, but we are rarely just in the classroom.
I really enjoyed visiting the different businesses around Charlotte.
My favorite experience has been the Whitewater Center.
Visiting the Panther Stadium.
We toured operating rooms.
We're getting out and about, going up to Winston-Salem to see the campus.
Wake Forest has a beautiful campus.
The best experience for me was going to the robotics, the first zone.
I get to do things that other kids in my high school and the nation couldn't really do.
I have found all of the presenters very interesting.
You can't go around just find these people who are coming in to talk to us.
Many of our students have walked away from this opportunity with internships, shadowing opportunities, and lifelong mentors.
This program is to immerse them into a particular field, but it's also, getting them into being lifelong learners.
Seeing their eyes light up when they learn about something that might be a future career path for them is really exciting for me.
I think the faculty got a tremendous amount of satisfaction out of seeing the kids energized, informed, excited.
It makes me feel great to see and hear the feedback from both students as well as parents that they leave the camp by Friday feeling as if a light bulb has gone off.
It's a fun, eye-opening experience.
There's nothing else like this.
It changes your life. Without summer immersion, I never would have been in this position.
Great. So hopefully that gave everyone a better sense of what the summer immersion program will look like this summer. Wake Forest campus is gorgeous. Today, especially in North Carolina, it was a beautiful spring day. And so over the summer, the campus is just as beautiful, albeit a little bit hotter. So we definitely encourage students to pack accordingly. All of our dorms are air conditioned though. That's a question we get a lot from our families up north. So our dorms are air conditioned. Next, I'm going to dive into our summer immersion program fast facts. So who's eligible for the summer immersion program? And I just want to acknowledge that the audience tonight is quite broad. So we have some students who are just heard about the summer immersion program and are wanting to learn more, who may not yet have started an application. We have some students and families who are probably in the process of applying and just want to gain a little bit more information. And then we have some students who we are really excited to have join us this summer on campus. So some of this information may be new to you. Some of this information may be review, but thank you for being patient with us as we review kind of the whole picture of the summer immersion program. So the summer immersion program is eligible, or high school students are eligible for the summer immersion program. So current freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors are all eligible to participate. If you are a current middle school student, unfortunately, you are not able to join us this summer, but we are excited to have you join us hopefully next summer. Like I mentioned, our programs are week-long. So we like to think that we do know that high school students are quite busy over the summer, and we found that a week-long program is really manageable for families. So students check in on Sundays from 3 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. and students check out at 12 noon on Friday. So that allows time for families to travel to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We are in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Students should fly into the Piedmont Triad International Airport in Greensboro. That is the closest international airport to us. We do provide airport shuttle transportation, if anyone was wondering. So that is something we do provide for our students with a $50 airport shuttle fee. We are also really excited to be able to offer programming at our Wake Forest University Charlotte Center. It is a satellite campus in Charlotte, North Carolina, in Uptown, that typically serves as our School of Business in Uptown Charlotte. So that we will host our Law Institute there as a day program for either students who are local to the Charlotte, North Carolina area, or for families who want to come to Charlotte and experience the Law Institute in Charlotte. All of our institutes will take place in June and July. Our first week of programming will be the week of June 11th, and our last week of programming will be the week of July 23rd. We do not offer programming the week of July 4th. And lastly, the reason why we're really hoping that students walk away with clarity and insight, experience and exposure, and hopefully a better idea of what they want to pursue in their futures. Important dates. Our application does go live every year on November 1st. So we have implemented waitlists for some of our institutes. And so for those of you who may be on a wait list right now, or who see that a program like medicine is already filled, please, we encourage you to apply early. Our application goes live annually on November 1st. We review applications on a rolling basis. So, as soon as we get a submitted application with a teacher recommendation, we'll be able to review the application, and we'll continue to review applications until each of our institutes fills up. You can see our demographic data from last summer, so quite diverse. We've had 45 states represented last summer and 8 countries, but we have had all 50 states and over 28 countries represented. Our average GPA is 3.96, so quite a bright and motivated group of students that we're having coming to campus each summer. And I already talked a little bit about the application process, but I did want to mention that scholarship funding has been exhausted for summer 2023. So unfortunately, we do award scholarship on a rolling basis as well. And so for this summer, we have exhausted scholarship funding.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lizzie Randolph. I'm program manager with our Summer Immersion program. And I want to, again, thank you all for being here with us. So let's dive into our different institute options and make sure that you all know what we have to offer for our high school students this coming summer. So we are very excited to have 21 different institutes that students can select from on campus. This summer, we expect around 1,400 students to join us on campus. And we are also offering an online option for those students who are unable to join us in person this summer, either in our main campus in Winston-Salem or at our Charlotte campus at the Wake Center in Uptown. So looking at our 21 institutes, we have them categorized here for you. So if your high schooler is interested in a STEM option, we have bioscience, engineering, health and exercise science, health and well-being, medicine, neuroscience, psychology, sports medicine, technology, and virtual reality available. Our business-themed institutes include business, entrepreneurship, finance and investing, and sports business. We also have some creative and liberal arts options, including filmmaking, screenwriting, and writing for life. And lastly, our civic engagement-focused institutes include debate and public advocacy, law, leadership, and policy and politics. We also, as mentioned, have an online immersion program. So those students who can't physically be with us this summer can choose from 9 courses that they can take asynchronously. And we'll dive into a little bit more information about those. All right, so our online immersion program is an asynchronous format, so students can select a course and participate during the school year or throughout the summer. The options are a 2 to 4 week format with 30 hours of coursework for students. They still are able to take advantage of the undergraduate mentorship and still receive that through an online platform as well. The courses are all taught by industry experts, and students are completing a final capstone project at the conclusion of the course. So you can see here the course options for students include bioscience, business, cancer medicine, investing, criminal law, medicine, psychology, sports medicine, and women's medicine. And as you can see here on the slide, we do have a QR code if you would like to scan that now on your phone, and you will be directed to our website where you can learn more information. All right, we would like to share that we are very proud that our summer immersion program has been recognized as a top 30 pre-college program. We have shared a quote here from one of our students who is a summer immersion and Wake Forest alum, because we really love to see the impact that our programming has directly from the students. So you can take a moment here to read this quote that we have pulled from one of our participants, but it really speaks volumes when you can learn about the impact from the student's voice.
All right, so as I mentioned, we do have a few of our institutes that have implemented waitlists already. So here is the list of institutes with current waitlists: business, bioscience, engineering, filmmaking, finance and investing. Our Law Institute in Winston-Salem for week 2 is filled, but our first week of law in Winston-Salem is still open. And like I said, we still have space in our Charlotte Law Institute. Our Medicine Institute is filled, neuroscience is filled, psychology, sports business, and sports medicine. So as I mentioned, our application goes live November 1, and we review on a rolling basis. So we typically see the first waitlist implemented in early January. So just make a note in your calendars if you are really interested in that. Medicine Institute it is one of our most popular and just enlightening institutes. Make sure you do apply early in November or December over winter break and mark your calendars. I can talk a little bit more about the waitlist process because I'm sure some people have questions about that. So if an institute is filled that you want to participate in, you do have to put down an initial deposit in order to be added to the waitlist. In addition, in order to be added to a waitlist, you do have to apply for the summer immersion program and receive an acceptance. So, you can't call us and ask to be added to a wait list. You do have to apply, receive an acceptance, and then upon acceptance, you have the opportunity to register for a wait list. Like I said, you have to put down an initial deposit of $550 in order to be added to a wait list. If you don't move off of the wait list, that deposit is refunded in full and can be requested at any time. Oftentimes, families like to put down a deposit for a wait list and a backup institute, so to speak, so that they at least can guarantee a seat in one of our institutes, and they know that they'll come to Wake Forest this summer. So that's a little bit more about the wait list. But now I'm going to dive into feature a few institutes that are really spectacular that still have space. So the first of those is the Debate and Public Advocacy Institute. One of the things that we really like to highlight about our programs is that we are picking out the very top faculty members at Wake Forest University who are engaging, excited about interacting with high school students, and who have a track record of being incredibly enthusiastic about the content that they teach. So our academic leader for the Debate and Public Advocacy Institute is Justin Green. We're actually really proud to announce that Justin is the head debate coach at Wake Forest, and he's also a professor in communication studies, but the Wake Forest debate team recently won the national competition, beating out University of Michigan. So we're really excited to highlight that, and really proud of Justin and his debate team. So as you can see in the Debate and Public Advocacy Institute, students are able to engage with all types of guest speakers and professionals from many different areas: business, politics, advertising, different community organizations. Students are able to speak and argue and advocate a lot, so they'll really gain the skill of being able to communicate effectively. They'll also be able to compete in debates on student-driven topics. So students get to come up with the things that they are most passionate about and advocate those things and come up with arguments about those things. We'll also spend a day at the School of Law, so students will be able to kind of get a chance to see what it's like to also be a law student. And it really culminates in a final big debate. So you can see below the facts about the Debate and Public Advocacy Institute. It's a really, really phenomenal program. And the fact that students get to learn from Justin Green, who is a national champion winning debate coach, is really, really amazing. So take advantage of the opportunity if you are a student or have a student who is interested in debate and advocacy, social justice topics, things like that. This is a really awesome program. The next institute I wanted to highlight is a new institute. So it's the Health and Wellbeing Institute, and the title of this institute kind of needs a little bit of describing because it is a little bit vague. But our academic leaders for this institute are Marian Tratner, who is the Assistant Director of Wellbeing and Health Promotion at Wake Forest, and Dr. Denisha Champion, who is the Director of our University Counseling Center. So the Health and Wellbeing Institute really dives into the preventative side of healthcare. So if a student is interested in medicine, for example, the Health and Wellbeing Institute is a great backup for the Medicine Institute because it really dives into the things that prevent people from becoming sick or ill. So students will learn about the science of sleep. They'll learn a lot about nutrition, the power of social emotional well-being. We'll also get to tour campus athletic facilities and sample fitness classes at campus recreation, hear from a panel of college students who are pursuing public health. We'll do something with campus garden and nutrition, and also learn about environmental health. So this is a really great option for those students who are interested in healthcare, interested in perhaps medicine, or are just really excited about, learning about the things that you can do to make you healthy, the science behind preventative healthcare. This is also a great institute for students who may be interested in psychology, because this institute will also dive into, like I said, social, emotional well-being, mental health, the importance of, communicating, talking about feelings, things like that. So this might be a good option for students who are interested in psychology as well. You can see the dates on the bottom of the slide. And it's just going to be a really fantastic institute. We're really lucky that these two leaders at the university are, giving us their time this summer to teach and engage with our students. All right, one of the last institutes that I wanted to highlight is the Law Institute hosted at the Wake Forest University Charlotte Center. We are incredibly fortunate to have one of our alumni, John Shenundit, who is a partner at Moore & Van Allen Law Firm, and also he's co-head of investment there, lead this program. So John is not necessarily a faculty member in the School of Law, but he practices law every day, and he's able to really cultivate a rich number of different types of attorneys who are very excited to talk to our students this summer. So the students will still be able to go to Wake Forest University for one day as a day trip, where we will be hosted at the School of Law. And so these students who participate in Charlotte will still get to participate in an admissions information session and campus tour. But instead of being hosted on Wake's main campus in Winston-Salem, this program will be, as mentioned, a day program hosted at the Wake Forest Charlotte Center. Our day program will run from 9 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. each day, except for Friday. It will also run from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Here are some of the activities and exercises that you can see. We will do a simulation 1L law class, Socratic style. We'll read and discuss case studies in teams. We'll do a negotiations exercise hosted at Moore and Van Allen. And then we'll just get lots of mentoring from law students and lawyers. Students will be able to engage and interact with all different types of lawyers, so giving them a very good idea about what type of law they may want to pursue. We'll also go and visit Mecklenburg Courthouse. So we'll be able to hopefully sit in on a case and hear from a judge as well. The tuition is a little bit less for our day program. So you can see the price point for our Charlotte Day Institute is $2,000 as opposed to the $2,800 for the on-campus experience.
Next, we have our Leadership Institute. Our team often has questions from students or parents who may be looking for an institute. Let's say, for instance, one that you may have been thinking of has implemented a wait list. Our Leadership Institute is one that benefits any high school student, so we definitely encourage students to take a look at this week, even if it may not have been one that you originally were interested in learning about. So this Leadership Institute will really allow students to dive into a variety of topics. Students will be participating in a team building ropes course early on in the week to really get themselves communicating and working together as they develop these strong relationships throughout the week with us on campus. Students are also working with our Wake Forest faculty to develop their personal leadership skills. Marcus Sanderlin is an outstanding Wake Forest staff member here who works in the School of Business that will be teaching the students, and also, allowing them to network with other School of Business faculty on campus throughout the week. Our high school students will be learning about Wake Forest's motto of Pro Humanitate and what that means to really be a servant leader. So throughout the week, they will also be meeting with community leaders from various corporations, government agencies, and nonprofits to really learn about leadership style and those leadership lessons that they're going to carry with them throughout their life. They'll be serving and volunteering at local nonprofit organizations in Winston-Salem, and they'll also be leaving the week with a developed resume and a greater understanding of their own personal strengths through individualized strengths assessments that they'll complete. So you can find the dates listed there at the bottom, as well as the tuition and our overnight program format. All right, our Technology Institute is another great option for students. If you have a student that's interested in tech, this might be the week for them. Paul Whitener is outstanding and is such a leader on campus through the Wake Forest, the Waker space, and the high school students just build such great relationships with him throughout their time with us. So high school students will be completing in workshops, learning basic Arduino microcontrollers. They'll be hearing from industry experts about what it's like to work in technology. Students will be participating in a field trip to innovative tech companies. We'll be going to Red Ventures. They'll also be hearing from other experts throughout the week, and also exploring technologies at a NASCAR racing facility, which is always a student favorite. They'll be learning and completing in workshops, learning basic Raspberry Pi, and they'll also be creating their own podcasts. So as mentioned, Paul Whitener really leads our Waker space on campus, and students will be able to actually create their own podcast and experience so many different hands-on activities throughout that week. So our dates are listed below. You can also find all of this information on our webpage as well. All right, and last but not least, I do want to speak about our Virtual Reality Institute led by Ryan Schmaltz. So you can see here that students are going to be participating in this week if they do have an Oculus headset. So that is something we do like to share with students and parents. So if you have that Oculus headset, you've got the gear to be able to jump in and really dive into this Virtual Reality Institute. So students will be using advanced industry-grade hardware and software throughout the week. They'll be learning about how VR is being used to innovate various industries and improve operations. Ryan Schmaltz will be able to share his work and how he's being able to utilize VR technology to help train nurses and to do really impactful training for nurses who are getting ready to join the field. So VR is not just all of the different ways that the technology is being used to really impact our society. They'll be learning all about that throughout this week. In addition, they'll be using various different experiments and several different types of VR content throughout the week. And of course, interacting with expert guest speakers and professionals who are really leaders in the VR industry. Again, you can find our dates, the cost of tuition, the overnight format, and additional information on the slide here, as well as our website.
All right. Well, one of the most exciting things for a high school student is to be able to actually live on a college campus. And year after year, Wake Forest University has always been described as one of the most beautiful college campuses in the US. So we're excited to welcome our high school students to campus this summer. This summer, we will be in 2 newly renovated freshman dorms, Bostwick and Johnson residence halls. Students will be assigned a double room. So that means they will be assigned a roommate. We are allowing students the option of requesting a roommate this summer, although there is a deadline for roommate requests, which is April 28th. So that is an option for this summer. Otherwise, if you are coming to campus and don't know anyone else, that's the majority of students coming this summer. So don't worry, we will pair you with another student who is in your same institute, in your same grade level, and who's your same gender. Students will live a typical dorm experience and are able to request roommates, as I mentioned. But what is a typical dorm experience? So we are excited to be able to hire lots of Wake Forest undergraduate program ambassadors who will be living in the dorms with students. In the evenings, students will be able to participate in various evening activities. So that might look like kickball on the quad. That might look like a college essay writing workshop. That might look like, as you can see in this picture, making friendship bracelets with all of the new friends that you make over the summer. So it can look at a lot of different things. We also have volleyball, sand volleyball, basketball courts. Students are able to join our run club. We'll have program ambassadors offering yoga. So we like to offer lots of different activities that hopefully appeal to our students coming from all over the world. In addition, we will hire residence hall coordinators who will live in the dorms as well and offer nighttime supervision. We will have 24/7 supervision for students, or making sure that adults are making sure that dorms are safe and secure. In addition, students not only get to live in the dorms, but they also get to eat in the dining hall. We affectionately call our dining hall the pit. And students will eat the majority of their meals in the pit. We do ask for students' dietary restrictions on their medical authorization form after they've been accepted and registered to the program, and we do accommodate those dietary restrictions. For students, sometimes we do have catered lunches because we do go on lots of field trips throughout the weeks, but as mentioned, we will honor those dietary restrictions. Last but not least, the culture of Wake Forest is a very positive and warm, welcoming place to be. So we hope that when students come and live on campus for a week, they're able to feel that warmth, that students feel welcome and excited and just feel the pull of the positive orb that we're hoping to cultivate this year for our students. So that is really what we hope that students are able to walk away with, just a very positive experience where they're able to gain that clarity about a potential career pathway or field of study, but also about Wake Forest and college in general. So that's a little bit more about the residential experience for the summer immersion program. Preparing for arrival. So there are a few logistics that hopefully students who have registered already know about. We do send out a planning packet, which has all of the logistical information regarding check-in, check-out, travel to Winston-Salem, all of the required forms that students need to complete. We also send out a packing list. And last but not least, all students will have access to our learning module Canvas. So every student will get an invitation to a Canvas page, and Canvas is where the students will be able to see their hour by hour daily schedule, and then have access to lots of the bios and contact information of the professionals and guests that they'll get to interact with throughout the summer. Transportation is something that we get lots of questions about. So as I mentioned, we do provide airport shuttles from the Piedmont Triad International Airport in Greensboro. Lots of families drive to campus, and students are also able to drive themselves, although there is a $50 parking pass fee if the student parks on campus. We also collect keys for students that drive themselves to campus. So upon check-in, we would collect that student's keys, and upon checkout, we would give them back their keys, just because students do need to stay on campus with us throughout the duration of the program. I already mentioned that check-in is on Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Checkout is on Friday at 12 noon. We do acknowledge that lots of our families and students are coming from the West Coast. So we do accommodate late check-ins that occur after 5 p.m. And if a student needs to leave earlier on Friday, we also accommodate early checkouts. So we are willing to be flexible with families, because we know that Winston-Salem, North Carolina is not the easiest place to get to. All right, well, that kind of concludes our presentation on the summer immersion program. Hopefully we gave you a good sense of what to expect during the summer immersion program. Hopefully you were able to learn about a few new and exciting institutes that you hadn't considered before, and hopefully learned a little bit more about logistics and arrival on campus. We would now love to open it up to additional questions. So I'm going to hand it back over to our Executive Director, Kyla Hollingsworth, to review some commonly asked questions in the Q&A that you all were able to ask this evening.
Thanks so much, Betsy. Some of the most common questions that were asked were regarding our wait list, and if we're able to open up additional sections of the most popular institutes that are currently waitlisted. And currently, unfortunately, not. Our faculty, they have very specific summer teaching schedules and travel schedules, and the university wants to allow our faculty to have their deserved vacation time throughout the summer. So at this time, due to both classroom capacity as well as academic leader scheduling, we are not able to open up additional institutes or weeks based off of the just general availability. Another common question, Betsy, you touched on was travel to and from campus. So if a student is not able to access our shuttle on either Sunday at 2 to 2:30 p.m., or if they're arriving or departing early or later on Friday and they're unable to access our shuttle, then we do suggest that students and parents use a rideshare service of their choice. And that will allow you to arrive to campus. We will accommodate late checkout as well as early check-in. But if you're not able to reserve a seat on our shuttle in advance, we suggest that you use a rideshare service to arrive to campus, as well as to depart from campus to and from the airport of your choice. And then another question was regarding the Charlotte Law Day Program, and parents are curious about the definition of a day program. And that's simply the same curriculum that you would receive in the general law program, that's a residential program, except you would not have the overnight experience. So that's the main difference. It is not an overnight program. So students are dropped off around 8:45. We begin at 9 a.m. and then they finish Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. and Friday is always a half day in which students finish at 12 noon. Those are the most commonly asked questions that were asked in the chat.
All right, well, if there are no further questions, then we will conclude tonight's information session. We hope that you were able to get lots of your questions answered. We will compile our questions into a document and send out all of the questions with their responses with a recording of this information session. So hopefully it was helpful. Lizzie, our whole team, Lizzie and I and Kyla especially, are able to be contacted at summerimmersion@wfu.edu. So please feel free to email summerimmersion@wfu.edu. We can also be reached by phone and are happy to answer any additional questions that you may have. Students who are registered and coming this summer, we are so excited to have you join us. And thank you so much for community members, teachers, educators. Thank you for joining in and serving as advocates for us and enriching programs like this over the summer. We appreciate you and applaud you for the work that you do. So thank you for joining us tonight. We know it's a lot on a school night. And lastly, parents, thank you so much for supporting your students and allowing them to grow and pursue the things that they are most passionate about and curious about. We are excited to be able to offer these rich, exciting programs over the summer. And, we work all year for this program. So it's going to be fantastic. And we are excited for it. So like I said, feel free to email us and follow us on social media as well. At Wake Pre-College is our social media handle. And everyone have a great evening.